All right. We are back. It is the middle of January. It's 70 degrees. Rob plays a prank on his patrons, and Shawn hates God. Welcome to RGP. That's a hell of an intro.
Yeah, I guess you just kind of summarized it, huh?
Yeah.
Hey.
Wait, you hate God?
I do.
I'm going to ease right into that controversial
You're not alone.
No, I don't hate him. I
just
hate
some of his followers.
Yeah.
And things done on his behalf.
So you met some missionaries recently, huh, Rob?
I guess so. I don't.
Did you identify what they were?
What just talking to people, I think they are Mormon. I don't know. It's sad to say, but they were, they fit the bill. They had the shirts and the ties. The Jehovah's Witnesses don't always
So set the
come.
scene for us.
I was in the shower.
Ooh.
I had to go to work. I get out of the shower. I have two dogs, as you all know, if you've listened in the past. And they just start barking like crazy. And I just got out of the shower. I'm like, what the fuck? There's got to be somebody at the door. And I have to get there, kind of relatively quick. If they keep barking and they're up against the thing, there's a chance that the two of them could start fighting, and that's fucking brutal.
Right, and we've all met them last episode.
Yes.
They made quite the appearance.
Pain in the ass. But so I get out of there, I throw the towel around, I'm dripping, I run to the door, move them back, and I can see that there's somebody at the door. I'm like, this better be good.
What time of day was it?
It was like 5 o'clock. No, I'm sorry, it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon because the sun was starting to go down.
Yeah.
And I pop open the door, and there's like this tall, skinny, he was a kid. He had to be, maybe he was 18 at the most, if he's looking like, if he's out there doing that, I don't know if there's any kind of age restriction to be knocking doors.
Usually they have white shirts and ties.
They did. The ties it was cold out too. So it was freezing out actually. So they were wearing a coat over it, but I could see this tie and the other kid behind them, but they were young kids. And they're like, I'm like, oh, this better be good. And I open the door and roll. I kind of slide down the glass so that it's a screen between us, and they can see me. I have more hair in my chest than the two of them combined. All the body hair they possibly have. I'm standing there with this fucking towel dripping.
Satan sweater, boys.
And I'm like, no, you got to
You're
book
at the wrong house.
So I'm like, this better be good. And I'm like, no, you got a book in your hand. This is going to be great. What? And like, what can I do for you? He's like, we just came by to share some scripture. And I'm like, let me stop you. I'm not a believer. I'm like, thanks very much for stopping by. And good luck with whatever you're doing. Just send them away right away. They didn't push back. Like, no, but we got it. They kind of saw like the situation. Dogs are barking. I'm fucking like Archie Bunker at the door.
But you said this better be good.
Yeah, I was like, this better be good.
Right off the bat, they're not good.
Yeah, right. So that set the groundwork.
Sir, it is good. It's the word of God.
So he had the book on him, and I just sent him. It wasn't all that eventful. It was just kind of funny in hindsight, like what they must have saw looking at him. Like my hair is all fucking crazy.
Now, did you have a White Russian in hand?
No, I should have. That would have been great.
Made famous by the Big
That would have been
Lebowski.
great. No, we spoke about it. Had it been nicer out, and maybe if I was wearing more clothes, I would have humored them on the porch for a little while to let them go. But I was late for work. Dogs were going nuts. I'm in a towel, and it's freezing, and these assholes are on my porch trying to tell me about God.
Let me tell you about the time I met God in Atlantic City at 4 a.m.
He's coming up again, too.
Oh, man. Well, Shawn, actually, we should do a quick roll call. We haven't been a four-piece in quite some time, so we have Shawn.
Hello.
Black Rob and Christian. How are you? Welcome back, boys.
Hi.
John, it's been a while since the break and or the new year. You were down in Florida for some time during the holidays.
Yes, sir.
Yep. How was that?
It was okay. Florida, is Florida.
And you're right in the epicenter of the Trumpster, Florida, too, right? Mar-a-Lago.
Actually, no, we're a little bit south of there. But yeah, we're south of where Mar-a-Lago is, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it all red down there too on that part?
I think in
is it kinda split?
Broward County, where we are, it's actually was blue.
Yeah, I think like
In
when you get
Miami
closer,
and
because you're more
Dade County.
metropolitan down right there than
But in the
like,
north, it might as well be
I'm
Mississippi
gonna
or
fuck-
something.
That's what North Florida is. Fucking Mississippi. That always gets a pass because of Disney World and all this shit. But North Florida, like west of Jacksonville, is fucking pure hell.
Yeah, Miami's the only, part of, the Keys, too.
Fuck Miami. I'll take Monroe County every day of the week.
What's a gentleman do in Florida without kids?
Well,
That sounds nice.
I just chilled. Actually, I graded a lot of papers, which is lame. But I just relaxed. I smoked a lot of cigars.
Oh, nice.
Hung out on the patio. It was gray, overcast, and windy most of the time, but you could still be outside, you know.
So
hot dogs on the grill, stuff like that.
you got the
the shake house,
shake house
piece.
Yeah. Well, we're getting a little bit of Florida weather here. It's no joke. The mid January, the last 2 days, it peaked 68 degrees yesterday here in Philadelphia. It's probably it feels warmer today,
right now,
so it's legit 70 degrees. Playoff football looked a little funny last night down in Baltimore, where everyone was in there were some fans in shorts,
T-shirts.
I mean, no short requisite white guy in cargo shorts, no matter the temperature. But Chris, how are you feeling about the Cowboys out? You know, now here we are in the playoffs. You gunning for a particular team?
No, I don't really care. It's all fresh teams though. It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it's like a new
reboot
new scenario.
I'm rooting for the Chiefs. Big Red,
Me too.
Andy Reid.
Me too.
He deserves
wow,
it.
We
Yeah,
finally agree
that?
on.
I want to see
something.
Chiefs Seahawks.
Chiefs Seahawks.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Could it be the Chief Titans or no? They're in the same shit.
Yeah.
It could be.
Titans would be cool because they're like very underdog right now.
I mean, they barely had a winning record this year, and change of
They
quarterback.
came on though.
Yeah.
Once they switch quarterbacks, they're no joke.
Maybe the NFL is fixed, and they're going to do Chiefs Packers replay of Super Bowl I for their
That would be
100th
pretty
anniversary.
sweet. I didn't think of that.
Oh,
classic.
Rainbow Rob with the solid conspiracy theory right there.
Well, let's see what
That's
happens.
brilliant.
It's not
Little Len Dawson and Bart
it
Starr.
goes along with their 100-year anniversary shit.
I'll say though, I will 100% root for the Seahawks to get to the Super Bowl just so Marshawn Lynch gets fucking bombarded with like questions pre-Super Bowl.
Just to watch that shit.
Yes, because that dude doesn't fucking.
He gets so
he doesn't
pissed.
even want. Yeah, he doesn't try to like. He doesn't even try to like.
I respect him for
participate in it.
standing his ground all these years. Just
I know.
still like, all right, this is what you're getting from me, and that's it.
Yo, play that over and over. Shit.
All right. Well, here's a compilation of
Okay.
of some Marshawn interviews.
You do too. You all right?
Man, I'm smooth.
I like when you get off the
hate
plane
Deion
with the
Sanders.
beast mode and everything. It look like you ready to play, man.
Yep, that's what time it is.
You kind of shy.
Nah.
So he's with Deion Sanders, and this is the most engaged I've ever seen him with an interview. He's actually responding without a pre-canned.
It's prime time.
Yeah.
You just don't want to talk, really.
I'm just about that action, boss.
You ready to go get it. You just like to do it.
That's what it is. I ain't never seen no talking win me nothing.
Yeah.
Yep. Been like that since I was little. Was raised like that.
Well, I respect it.
Yeah.
You excited about
He's hanging out on the side like I try to do and hide. Like it looks like Marshawn Lynch, like not being involved.
Yeah, under the radar. Okay, so we'll do the over and over. This is Marshawn Lynch describing his mindset when it comes to
Seriously,
like running
he's
the
the
ball.
coolest
Yeah.
athlete. Easy.
It just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over again. They just not gonna want that. Think of a deeper metaphor there? Run through a motherfucker face.
Like who's better than that?
Oh man, that guy, middle-aged
That's
white
60
guy.
minutes, man.
Yeah, middle-aged white guy in 60 minutes must be petrified. Well, sir, am I the motherfucker you're gonna run over again?
Seriously, it's awesome.
I do apologize. I said the F word. I got a phone call from my mother this week saying, reprimanding me on how much I curse on the podcast. And for the record, I do have to say she was the coolest mom growing up. All right,
Does
Mom.
she listen? Like, does she tell you she listens a lot, or
Allegedly,
just
like here's the story. It was, I was on my Kindle and a podcast popped up, and then I saw yours, so I decided, I don't know, I just tuned that in, and boy, oh boy, you should be ashamed of yourself with that F word.
I get in trouble too. For
Yeah.
cursing.
from who?
From your wife?
She says every word out of my mouth on here is fuck.
Yeah. I guess I listen to when I listen back from time to time. I hear that too with myself. I'm like, damn, I use it a lot.
Yeah.
But when it's going down, I don't even think of. it just fucking rolls right off.
Like just like that. How about that?
Are these new wicker chairs?
I wouldn't call them wicker, but yeah, these we did get new studio chairs.
That'd be funny if you had fucking office furniture made out of wicker.
There was a
for the
store
patio.
in that.
Get the fucking pad, like the little cushion that you know, like a grandma cushion put on top of it.
Yeah.
Like
What do you
pattern.
think? Do you feel more attentive and alert and ergonomic to the microphone?
Yeah, I mean, maybe because I don't really have a butt or something, but I'm like really sinking into the wicker in the middle.
The wicker. So these are your run-of-the-mill standard office fare chairs. So for the listeners here, it's not wicker. These are
There's nothing wicker here.
polycarbon, plastic, whatever you want to call this, but
You got it at that store.
high space polymer.
There's a wicker and things by us. And things.
You imagine this professional startup here. He's got like lawn furniture. Serve shit in red Solo cups.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy them, and for the lack of ass that you have.
I know. I'm not filling it out right, I think.
Well, there's a little button on the you can lean
fill-
back. And
yeah. Does it tighten up the butt space?
you can do your squats.
Yeah. How do you work on your butt?
You can do some
The
squats,
butt exercises?
lunges.
Give me one. You don't have to show me, but
Yeah.
tell me one exercise I can do for my butt.
Well, you can get on all fours. Right. This is kind of a ladies' exercise,
real
but it works.
one? Or are you
True
lying?
story. You get
Okay.
on all fours, and you kick out your foot like from behind you and sort of kick up. So it's almost like, you kind of look like a crab, but like your leg, you kind of kick out, and then you do alternating lunges with like kicking your leg up in the air.
Is this gonna fuck my kids up if they walk in
if
and
they're-
see
if-
me
yeah.
doing this?
Yeah.
It's gonna-
Face.
It's like a legit jazzercise.
I like to say that
exercise.
you wanted to know how to work on your butt, and he's like, get down on all fours. It's kind of a ladies thing. Then he comes in behind you, and he's gonna work on your butt. That's right.
I would love to have a big bubble
Tap
butt.
that. Tap that.
You can get a
Yeah.
bubble butt from that.
You can do that. Yeah. Firm
Big
it up.
shelf.
Yep. And then you can do squats. I'd love to see you do a squat with
I
a
don't think
fucking
I can anymore.
with an effing barbell on your shoulders, just squatting down.
I'd like to go to the gym like regularly. I paid for a gym that opened up by me last year and paid every month and never went one time.
I would love to see you do the thigh master at the gym.
I'm
Like
so
I see, like
scared.
you're the guy at the gym, like spreading your crotch, like doing the thigh exercises, leotards.
I'm not
Fucking
really,
leg warmers and shit.
well, see, I'm not really into going to the gym at all. But I figure like I already have probably an old man's body at my age now, which is 45.
Yeah,
So what am I going to be like when I'm 85?
I think that's a good outlook, Chris. You need to stay healthy because health is wealth.
But the machines are very intimidating.
Machines are easier, so free weights that get like.
Well,
like we
yes,
did-
that's really intimidating too. But like, if I
Remember,
feel
Rob
like
and
I'd
I
be
used to work
totally-
out together.
We just
Really?
got back to KS.
You joined it there again.
We had the one around. It was Meridian Health. It was through her health insurance. It was in Jackson, but we did the same shit. Paid for it for a year and never fucking used it. But,
KS Fit. Shout
Helen-
out to KS.
You remember the
Fitness
dude
in
that worked
Toms
there?
River.
You remember the dude?
Yeah, what was that guy's
John
name?
Messina.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
Helen went to him. She's getting personally trained by him now. They
He's still
shrank
there?
the gym. Yeah, they shrank the gym. Like they rented out half the other half to like a Mexican restaurant and something else, and it's just tiny gym now. But she's getting, she's been doing personal training with him for the last 2 months. So I got the membership, and now what makes all the difference in the world is fucking headphones.
Yeah.
Go in there with then you just don't care. Like it's
Yeah.
enjoyable.
I think I need a trainer.
So this guy's been, I don't forget what he charged, like $450, but he gets all into like nutrition and all this
$450
stuff.
what?
$450
For how long?
I don't remember.
3
like
sessions.
3 months or
3
something.
sessions.
I know. Whatever it does sounds expensive.
I don't know. I don't remember how many sessions it ended up. It was at
$450
least
for 5 years.
I know.
It was actually like for 3 months, at least
not
for
gonna be
Helen.
in-
She was doing it for 3 months, and it's like she's going like from like I'm just gonna go 3 days a week and promise myself that. Now she's fucking back into her head, and it's 6 days a week, like militant. So I'm kind of like
That
by
that,
proxy
that was
getting-
actually where it all started with the two of you, if I remember correctly, way
Well, I
back
think
in
you got a
'99.
number
Pumping
for me that
iron?
one time when I couldn't find it. No.
So at KS,
baby, I need you to spot me.
so this was back in the time when I came back from California in between my life transition with an iron and nothing, but I still had a gym membership. So I joined the gym. It was called KS Fitness in Toms River, and that guy John. I mean, he is.
Is that the one? Sorry, is that the one that like karate owners own?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like Kim Sung.
Yeah, it was
Fitness or something.
Some young guy.
But this guy John was like your quintessential every movie character personal trainer. Like, what's up, bro? High energy all the time. What do you got to do?
God.
Get motivated.
Yeah, you want to work on those glutes? Come here, boy. I'll show you how to do those glutes. And then like he'd run you through, but he knew everyone.
That's his thing. He remembered fucking everybody years later
Yeah.
too. If you walked in there, he probably would remember who you.
Yeah.
I swear.
God, I couldn't deal with
He's
that.
also been in the town so fucking long. It's like, and everybody's been through there. It's like he's like Mr. Tom's River.
Does he get
too.
on you like what you eat?
No, I mean if you pay him to
God.
be that guy, but you have to
He's
pay him.
yelling
to be
at
that.
me like you eat like a pussy.
No,
No wonder you have no ass.
I think
There's no ass in pussy, boy.
I think I'm curious. I'd love to see that like debate. I want to ask him that shit too because he's got like Helen. Like now you need 100 grams of protein a day, or like 100.
Damn.
He's like get used to it because it's going to go higher. So that goes back to the whole debate we were having about animal protein and
Plant-based.
plant-based. Yeah, and it,
See, the gym that opened by me is Planet Fitness, and I was told, I've never went, but I was told that there's a no grunt policy there. You're not allowed to grunt, like,
Yeah.
and they have like pizza day and shit.
Yeah, because
That's my kind of.
they want to. They don't want the meatheads in there.
I want to live.
Commercials about that. They have commercials and no meathead.
Yeah, they don't want
That's
any
awesome.
meatheads in.
This is a lift
In
lollipop
theory.
class.
The
Yeah,
best
in
was,
theory, it's nice.
The gym, the 24-hour gym in Bradley Beach, right by the
Oh,
train
I
station.
used to go to that gym.
That
yeah.
fuck-
When you go there during the day, though, it's got like brick walls. It's like a prison gym.
Yeah, those were
It's
the
no
best.
fucking
I used
joke.
to. I was a part of a gym like that. It was called Ironworks in Philadelphia, and it was just no mirrors, just cement block walls, and just prison weights.
Yeah, that's what
you know. And
that's what
everyone was on steroids, and it was just one big freaking bro fest. And I mean, it was just good because there was no like girls there to like pick up guys and guy. It was just one big meathead session. Best gym.
Didn't you do boxing or something?
Yes.
I would love to do that for real.
So
Like, not joking. I
was going
always
to say,
into
I
that. I'd
think-
get my ass kicked. but I
Yeah.
would-
Well, here's the thing. Here's a workout program for you that I think is going to be great for your
I would
family.
be what? Wait, hold on. What would
Yeah.
be my class, my weight?
Be featherweight,
Flyweight.
flyweight. You're gonna have to say that.
Which one is actually lower?
I have no idea. But
don't-
flyweight sounds
I don't know.
so.
Yeah. Is that even a thing? It sounds like it should be.
Flyweight.
I'll start my own weight class. Flyweight.
I remember at that Bradley Beach gym, I ran like 12 miles on a treadmill, and it just faced the concrete wall.
Yeah, it's
Like that type of gym.
That gym,
no,
but it's still
no
there.
frills.
Everybody knows it. That place is open 24 hours, but it's 2 levels. But there were a lot of women in there too.
Oh,
like,
you're
like
right.
people would be
I'm not
solid.
a
Like,
flyweight.
but I'd go downstairs and there'd be some dude.
Your bantam.
Sorry, I cut you
All right.
off.
So
Rob.
sorry,
I'm
Rob.
sorry, Rob.
We pulled up the weight classes,
Oh, yeah.
and so light flyweight, not more than 180 pounds. If you're
108
not, or
pounds.
100
I'll tell you where I'm a welterweight.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Where
like
do you keep it? That's 141 pounds. All right, so let me read the
no,
through
I'm
these.
not light.
Is
I'm-
152.
I'm about right in there. Yeah.
You're welterweight, 152.
Yeah.
Okay, so the light flyweight is not more than 108 pounds.
Is that fucking kids?
Flyweight,
Like,
yeah, these are
I
like
thought it was featherweight.
13-year-old Mexican fighters. The flyweight is 115 pounds.
Those are, you ever watch a fucking boxing match with flyweights or whatever? they just punch 1,000 miles.
Nothing
a second,
hurts.
like-
Nothing hurts.
no knockouts.
Like a fan, 2 fans going at
Yeah.
each other.
They go to distance.
So a bantamweight, which I think is the coolest name of any weight class, bantamweight is 123 pounds. A lightweight is 132 pounds.
Shit.
A light welterweight is 141 pounds.
I'm a
A
welterweight.
welterweight is 152 pounds. A middleweight is 165 pounds. And let's see here.
Super feather. There is a featherweight.
Okay. Super middleweight is 168 pounds. Light heavyweight, 175. Cruiserweight. That's where I'm at. I cruise around 200 pounds.
I'm at that.
Cruiserweight? That's awesome.
I'm like a Cadillac. I just cruise down wherever I go, just sludging around to 200 pounds.
That's a pretty good class.
Heavyweight, unlimited.
Heavyweight.
You're a heavyweight.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, no doubt.
So cruiser and bantam weight are the
I'm
coolest.
on the cruiser tip too.
Are ya?
Yeah. The cruiser tip.
The cruiser tip.
Why, are you surprised I'm a welterweight? What'd you think I was?
I
Seriously.
legit thought that you were a featherweight.
I would have.
What's a featherweight? Hold on.
Super featherweight is 130.
Are you
No.
kidding? What the fuck?
You don't eat meat. I don't know. Like how tall are you?
Man.
Yeah, but there are vegetarians that are out
I
of
know.
shape
Yeah.
and overweight and stuff.
Yeah. You can still eat like shit. And
Pizza and French fries.
I mean, anyone with a 32-inch waist, I assume is under 150.
now that's true. I do have that is my. There is a Seinfeld episode with that. I think like Jerry kept his like.
he
waist.
wrote on there,
Yeah.
right? On the jeans.
Yeah, you guys, you're like a year away from sharing genes with your son.
He's got my body, man. Feel bad for him.
Oh man. So
looks
anyway,
fast.
so what I was going to suggest for you, Chris, and
Yes.
this is going to be a workout regimen for your entire family.
Okay.
Because I had recently, so a part of the holiday season, the Giglio house gift from Santa this year.
Is this all resolution shit?
No.
Okay.
But we bought an Oculus Rift S system, right? And so with virtual reality, Oculus Rift, for listeners understand, and I know your sons are very technical and they're very gamey.
Yeah.
So the holidays brought us a home system, right? And so we have this Oculus Rift.
Santa
brought us a VR headset, and there is an entire inventory of workout games. Now with VR, you have handsets, you have the face mask, and it's all freeform. So in any movement that you need to do for the game, it's your body and you're the control. So my wife has become obsessed with a game called Box VR, and it is a virtual reality boxing game.
Oh shit, my wife would like that.
And you can you set your body dimensions and then your workout goals. And then they have timed workouts and all different themes. So it is high intensity, like futuristic.
So do you
workout.
box somebody like Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
So
Yeah. Glass Joe.
yes,
he was easy.
There's a game called Thrill of the Fight, and it's just like Mike Tyson Punch Out with VR.
Shit.
Yeah.
How much does this system cost?
So
roughly
$399 for the headset.
What?
Yep. But then you need a beefy gaming
There's-
computer. So it's this is the problem with VR. Now listen, you can get a Oculus Quest, which doesn't need a computer, just the headset and what have you. But save up, because if you're paying $450 a month for
It's not
personal training,
No, I think it was like a
Whatever it
quarter,
is.
whatever. It was
Right.
stretched it a little further.
but if you make the investment, it's just not like gaming. But then that's the benefit, right? Your sons could play Beat Saber. You familiar with Beat Saber?
No.
Beat Saber is because there are controls, right? So you put on these controls in your hand, and these cubes come firing at you, and you have these two lightsabers, right? And you have to slash the cubes based on the arrows that they're sort of pointing out. But they have this like fast-paced electronic music that, you really get into a rhythm, and you're just like slicing and dicing. I'll load it up here in the office.
was that like Fruit Ninja?
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
But it's total body. It's immersive. Dude, I've never sweat the amount, and you compare.
You always sweat.
No. Playing a game, like you play Xbox, you play PlayStation, you're not sweating. Maybe I don't know, if you're like playing Madden, it's like down to the wire, you might have a bead of sweat. But this is a full body experience. So there you go.
All right. Well, do you get all this shit for free?
I do a little bit of research and development,
but you get greased palms and shit.
it fell off the truck.
Checking out the competition. What other kind of workouts? They make it interesting? Like you run from the cops kind of thing one time? You're drinking in the woods, the cops come, you gotta run.
Beat a hoe, drag her through the woods.
I mean, I haven't really downloaded
Don't
much.
know type shit.
Yeah, but there's no shortage of like shooters because you're like, navigating this free form space, and so like you're shooting and but it's a lot of boxing, like Creed, like the Rocky franchise, like Creed has a game out. So in order for you to move around the ring, you have to like go like this, like make circles with your hands. So like it's a workout.
Yeah.
It's a legit workout. But this box VR game it's stationary in the sense that you're in your throwing position, but then you have these targets coming at you, and then you have to sort of duck, stray, jab, undercut.
Is there any chance if I buy this fucking thing for $400 and then like buy a computer?
Yes.
That this
Come to my house.
That I'm gonna get beat up in the VR and I never turn it on again.
No, the highest risk is like you punching through your television.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. Like when you move around the room, does it let you know you're moving in there? Like you trip over the dog, fucking hit the coffee table or something.
So it's pretty cool when you
punch
set up
your wife when she's walking by.
Yeah, when you set up the system, you take one of the controls and you draw like this neon box around you, and so the system knows that this is your cage, like a virtual cage.
All right,
and so if you go outside of it,
It'll bring you back in.
Then if you go outside of the cage, quote, you can see visually like there's a camera inside the headset, so you can see like a black and white video through of like where you are in your room. But then once you kind of go back in the cage, you're back into the future.
So you can't end up in the hallway down the fucking hallway.
You should do a straight up VR like 2020 version of Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah, that would be
and
really
then you
awesome.
like go through all the things, and then you eventually fight like Mike Tyson.
All these training
Do you
things.
remember
That would be
Yeah.
fucking
Do you
awesome.
remember all the fucking guys on there? I'm trying to think of like
Nah.
well, you did that. Like Soda
No, it
Popinski
was like
came
the
into
dude
mind.
with the big
and
belly. What was he? He looked like King Kong
Bald
Bundy.
Bull.
Oh, was it Bald Bull?
I think there was
yeah.
Bald Bull.
Yeah, Bald Bull.
But there was some other really Don
Yeah.
Flamenco.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
That was a classic
Who
game.
the fuck
shit.
was the?
There was a guy with the turban on, and like the jewel lit up.
Yes.
When he, didn't he just like
That's
do
pretty
some shit?
racist. Yeah, that
What was that
pretty
guy's
ra-
name?
I don't know. That was racist
Punjab or
as shit.
something. Probably. It was probably so like on PC back then.
So Chris, here's a screenshot of the thrill of the fight, where this is like the Mike Tyson version.
Yo, this guy's getting hyped.
No, but this is how it is. You start sweating. So you're right there in front of the guy.
Wait, this is what Heidi plays?
No, this is what I play.
Oh, you play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then you're just like, so this is last year. But look at the dude fighting. Like you are legit in the ring.
Oh shit.
Oh, he took one, bro.
But so they have these 3-round fights, 3 minutes each.
I could see how that can get tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
but
dancing around.
here I'll show you the. So this is Box VR. So here's the trailer. So this is kind of like the general theme where.
Oh no, the other one looked better. This looks stupid. Who's the
Especially the music. Come on, that.
But they, like, once it gets going, it's like Guitar Hero. You remember Guitar Hero?
Yeah. The other one looked better. I would throw some fucking. I feel like I'd throw some sick jabs.
Here, let me show you Beat Saber.
Really cool. Gets you proper fired up.
This is really cool, mate.
Look at this guy.
So this is
Sounded so natural.
so this is Beat Saber.
You don't mind using a lightsaber?
No, it's actually fun because the.
Oh, damn, that's hard. I could see this being pretty hard.
Well, my wife would love this.
I'm gonna fire this up. Maybe we should do it now. Maybe on the break. I'll fire it up here at the office or at the studio because we do have a headset here and we have this game loaded. So, but as you can imagine, so you have these flying cubes coming at you with arrows indicating which way you have to swipe. But then your controllers are lightsabers, and you're just whacking the crap out of these, following the music beat, right? And it's all synced. So cancel your gym membership. And this works to you like
You just have like stupid strong arms.
It's like nothing else. Just arms that are fucking
Chris with no ass and just big gorilla arms. Just change your body.
Very slender man with just fucking
Popeye
giant-
arms.
Yeah.
Oh man, but Rob, this story was supposed to go into how you met your wife at KS Fitness.
Yeah. I didn't meet her there. I mean, that was just
But that was the beginning.
I lost track of her
where,
at one
where,
point.
where I saw it,
and then he ran
I
into
saw
her
it
there.
a mile away, Shawn. I was getting Rob into a workout regimen at KS Fitness, and we were gonna throw some steel, throw steel together.
Wait, you were with him?
Yeah. And here comes like a slow motion movie. Helen just moved back from Florida. She joins the gym back in our hometown. The doors fly open.
Yeah,
there she comes
the
in
wind.
with
she
the
looked like Kelly
wind.
LeBrock from Weird Science.
And she comes in with her LA gear spandex on, and I'm like, Rob, that's the girl for you, because Helen's tall. Rob's 6'3". How
I never
tall?
heard this.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
6'2", really?
Yeah.
Okay. You carry yourself much taller, Rob.
Oh.
So Rob's a taller guy. Helen's a taller gal, and I just saw the magic when she walked in. Rob had his cut-off T-shirt, headbands.
Wait, were you his spotter?
Yeah.
Really?
Spotter.
I was like, Rob, this is what he's like. No, I just want to go on the cycle machine, the row machine. You used to love the row machine.
Row machine was dope. I would go on the machines, the free weights. I'm not fucking laying on a bench like that thing choke you down. There's
God,
plenty of machines
that
that
would be
simulate
very
that bullshit too.
embarrassing.
I know. Not to mention the amount of plates you put on there, like
I
people
know.
looking at you. That's it.
I know. Imagine me on that thing.
Were you with me when? So I have an uncle who was an amateur body builder, and like he did it for a hobby. So my mom's brother, right? And so his house actually in Pine Lake Park, he converted the basement into a legit like Olympic gym where he had a full rack of free weights, dumbbells, barbells, mirrors, the whole nine yards.
Knuckles?
No. That was Knife's workout partner. So this is my Uncle Hank. Big, strong Greek. So he was just known in the family as like the fitness guru, right? And so when I was a husky young boy, my mom was like, maybe it's time for you to spend the summer with Uncle Hank and start, doing some exercises. Right? So anyway, years and years later, here I am in my early 20s. And Uncle Hank now at this point lives down in Delaware. And for whatever reason, I saw him at a family function. And I go, we should work out together sometime. He goes, I would really enjoy that. And I'm like, well, you're 2.5 hours away. And he's like, tell me when. I'm like, well, I just joined KS Fitness. Why don't you come next Tuesday, 6:00? He's like, I'll be there. So
He drove to fucking Tom's River to work out.
Now, at this stage, this was, 20 years ago. He was probably 60, 62, right? Now, when you're someone who is a amateur, bodybuilder, you carry the size, like you may not be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you have a good frame. And now he's a taller guy. He was probably, 6'1", between 6'1" and 6'3", stocky build, but you're 60, and he's all natural, obviously, like a very straight and narrow guy, like just he doesn't drink, never did drugs. So anyway, he shows up at KS Fitness 6:30 on a Tuesday, and he looks like, Bill Belichick coaches, like with shitty sweatpants, like just awful,
Like he was going to the prison gym.
like he was going to the prison gym, and he has this black duffel bag. Now, I don't know what the hell's in this. He never reached into the black duffel bag, but every piece of equipment that we went to, he would just pick up the black duffel bag and put it down next to him. Now, to this day, I have no idea what was in it. But it got to the point. Now, KS Fitness, this was basically the gym that everyone would eventually, would work out, and then you'd see them at Bamboo. So it was like a showy Jersey Shore, tanning, steroid. Like
that was before the other one, LA Fitness, came into town.
Right. So this was like the name, this was it, right? And so here this guy comes in, just this awfully dressed 62-year-old man. He racks all of the weights, meaning like there's no more weight that you could put the pin in and pull. Like he's like knocking machines over, like and I'm like, he's a docile. Like I've only known him at family functions, and he barely speaks, and it's like, and he is just like working these machines like Ferrigno, like knocking. There was no shit. a crowd of people like clapping, like by the time he was done, because he racked every machine, like it was insane.
That'd be cool if he said nothing to you, just left and said, "Here, kid," and threw the black bag in his chest.
Like he was waiting to hand that down to somebody. And then if you can carry it on that tradition, there's Jim in the Tom's River fucking KS. With
just
fucking people behind him. They show up just to watch you work out.
It's like, who was that guy? Never saw him again. He was like the ghost.
Let me get the timeline straight. So, because that I don't remember exactly, but when she was there, I don't remember. Were we there together when
You and I were there together.
Yeah.
Because you and I started to work out. You know, we made a pact that we were gonna, like, I was gonna train you a little bit.
That went real far.
It went 2 weeks, but it's all right. But you know, nothing's lost because for whatever reason, like, because Helen and I were in the same grade, and so she walked in. We saw, you know, and this is years after college and high school, and so we just said, "Oh my God, like what's going on?" And that's how it all happened. Like we caught up, like in the hallway, and then
I don't think I was there. I think you gave me her number.
No,
like I'm like, yeah. One time you're like, I ran. Guess who I ran into? And I knew she was back because I think I remember. I'm all messed up with my timeline of how that happened. But bottom line was, that we were all in the same place at the same time, and Jim was trying to push that back together because I had
look at that
a little brief encounter with her back in 2001 or whatever.
Yep.
And then I fucked that up and didn't work, but somehow it was still there.
See that? Yeah. True love. You let it go and it comes back, right?
Word.
Yes, sir.
Word. Yeah, that was. But can you punch up the Mike Tyson's Punch Out opponents real quick? I just want to see
the name of that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, so you want the name?
Yeah, like the list of opponents that you have to fight to get to Tyson.
Like, they should do that again.
They really should.
That would be awesome. But VR style.
King Hippo.
All right. So we had
Soda Popinski.
Yeah, that's the dude.
Soda Popinski.
Doc Lewis.
So that's, I think, as it got harder.
Doc
right?
Lewis was the dude that chased you and told you, like, the old man that was like, because you were riding a bike and shit between matches.
Oh, that was the guy?
Doc Lewis. I think he's the trainer.
I was going to say, because I didn't
Ooh, Soda Popinski.
Yeah, he was an infamous Russian drunk who frequently threatened to get you punch drunk. All right, who was the other? So there's Mike Tyson, obviously. Then King Hippo. He was like the second or third round, right? Third round,
and his pants
fell down.
Yeah.
Every time you punched him in the mouth, the man was a complete failure as a boxer. Yet was arrogant enough to call himself a king and wear a crown. Bald bull. He was a challenge.
I remember what he looked like.
Yeah, they don't have.
He's a big huge bald head dude.
And he was Turkish. Hold on, let me.
Remember him being hard.
There he
is.
Oh,
shit.
Bald bull. They all have their own Wikipedia page.
Yeah,
this is a classic, man.
All right, and then the Don Flamenco. He was the first guy.
Great Tiger. That's the Indian guy.
Yeah,
Great Tiger.
Yeah, this is.
Wait, hold on. Let's read
Blinking
Don's bio.
Ruby.
Sean, read Don's bio.
Don Flamenco was a flamboyant fella who pranced into the ring with a rose in his mouth who would encourage you to punch him with a come on, come on, come on. Basically, Flamenco and his taunting ways were akin to Sugar Ray Leonard's, with the glaring exception being that Don was a comically terrible boxer.
Great Tiger. Yeah, he was an Indian with a blinking ruby in his turban who teleported around the ring in sweeping circles.
When that shit started
he
blinking.
was hard.
Yeah, he was
very
You had to wait for the ruby to light up.
Yeah.
All right, here's Glass Joe. His description. Glass Joe was a mess, but he was our mess.
Click on it. Just let's see his picture.
You want this skinny guy with it? Like he already had. Yeah. Well, look at that. He was emo.
Actually,
Look at
that
that
looks.
haircut.
They redid that. He's a little more cut than he was in the original game.
Yeah, I don't remember him looking like
Yeah, he was a little skinnier guy.
All right, and then Super Macho Man.
I don't remember him.
Oh, look at that. He was only 27 years of age. I don't remember this guy. Let's take a look at him. Oh, wow. Look at those
I don't
dresses.
remember him.
He's
I
got
don't
look at that booty on him, Chris.
I don't remember a black dude.
Mike Tyson. All right.
No, I mean Super Macho Man.
Piston Honda.
Oh shit! Yeah, he was tough.
He was born in 1959, according to his.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
the-
look,
This guy was tough.
Look, a Japanese guy, very fucking Piston Honda.
With the samurai
they could never put
fucking
this out.
No way.
headband.
They
This
could
hit
never
every
put this-
stereotype.
Yeah.
Well, they made him after Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He looks.
Von
Von
Kaiser.
Kaiser.
I don't remember Von. He suffered some emotional trauma stemming from when he was beaten by a group of children in one of his boxing classes.
I don't remember that dude at all.
I remember that dude, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Clearly, Rob never beat the game.
I played a lot of Mike Tyson Punch
Little
Out
Mac.
at Brian Winter's crib.
Yeah, everyone, Mr. Sandman. Oh, yeah,
See?
remember when he would go jogging?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that Doc Lewis? The fat dude on the
You're
bike?
wearing a pink suit.
That's a good song.
This looks like shit.
Boy, Matt could really move those feet. Look at him on the bike. Wait, does he have a shirt or no? Just a towel around his neck.
I don't know. If I told my kids, like, oh my God, this game is so awesome, they would fucking.
I don't know, dude. Like
That would be funny to video, like
Eight-
play this. What the fuck? They're all pissed off.
8-bit games have made a comeback.
They would never like this. They always tell me everything looks terrible. If I tell them my kid looks, they're used to like. You should see the stuff that they play now. It looks like real life shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know it.
Well, yeah,
I
you're
know it.
Mr. VR.
Mr.
I'm
VR.
talking to.
There he is. Mike Tyson's Punch Out is one of the most iconic video games of all time.
Shit.
There you go, Rob. And I love that they all have a wiki page. That is phenomenal.
Punch Out Wiki.
I thought you were going to say I like the pot advertisement at the top of the page.
And really?
You missed the big bud on there.
They know you're in the room. It's amazing.
The algorithm follows me.
The machines are learning. So, wanted to bring back to the opening statement, Rob, in that we had a bit of a laugh with the patrons at your bar. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
So we decided a little bit of background here as a result of our last episode during the holiday season. You know, as the holidays allow to regroup with your friends and family and holiday cheer. Apparently, it also brings back to a lot of high school hijinks, right?
Yeah.
And so, fans of the RGP show understand that we are friends from our adolescence, and sometimes that really never leaves you. And so, after the last episode, we had a small gathering of said friends, and we decided that. We're friend X, who no longer lives in the general area of the eastern seaboard, as they say, was in town visiting family. And so we wanted to kind of regroup and, just have a good classic night out. But the problem was it was the eve of New Year's Eve, which actually by the time we wrapped up our show, it was technically New Year's Eve.
And it was
But
Monday night, too. Yeah.
it happened to be a Monday night in the suburbs of the greater Ocean County area. And so we decided to responsibly call an Uber. And I was shocked how quickly we were able to find one at 11 o'clock at night on a Monday. Lovely young lady, 24-year-old, had no idea what she was getting into when she picked us up. A bunch of old men talking, reminiscing about our past, but she had a good laugh. But in any event, we decided to go to a local watering hole called the Office Lounge.
Yep.
Now, the Office Lounge in Toms River, I can honestly say I haven't been there since 2000, 1999. So the Office Lounge used to be
That was the place in Toms River, right? The
spot to
high-end
go.
place.
I think it's like an older gentleman.
an older
place.
gentleman.
I think when you go in there now, it seems
Now,
like
yeah.
there's like a lot of like.
Well, the
gray-haired
biggest
dudes
thing
in
that struck me was nothing had changed.
Yeah, they changed
The furniture,
They
the
actually
decor.
They
I don't
did an
even think the
entire
beer tap.
facelift
They
to the
get good
outside of
beer,
the building, though.
They have a good beer list.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
For the area, yeah. That's it. But so they just did an entire facelift on the outside of the building, but going inside was exactly the same.
Yeah.
100% the same. But that was the place. That was the high end place around. It was close to the law offices.
That's right.
And the doctor's offices. And before, I don't know what the fuck happened. There was like a food revolution after television shows started putting it on, where there's just better food in most of these areas in Toms River.
Well, I was surprised to
its
see
way
that
up to
sushi was highlighted on the marquee.
They've had it for a long
They're
time.
known for it.
Yeah.
They're known for that.
Is that right?
Yeah, for a long time.
So anyway, we show up. It's 11 o'clock on a Monday, New Year's Eve, and there's all of 8 people at the bar. Which again, I mean, you can't. It's a it's a seasonal community, and people should be at home with their family. But no, here we are. So obviously, we don't get together that often and have nights that rival some of our old nights, as idiot 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
So we decided, okay, well, there's not much happening here, and Rob is the head person in charge at the establishment that you work, and I've never been there. Friend X has never been there, and we said, let's kind of blend the worlds together and see.
No, he has been there many
Oh,
times.
he has.
Yeah, he used to come down from Queens and sleep in his van on the outside, but the cops kept bothering him, so he hasn't been back there in a long time.
So, like, even now in the winter when it's like freezing cold, he'll chill in the van?
Yeah, I think, but I mean, in Queens, yeah, he does it. I don't know exactly what his regimen, but I know he's hiked and camped a lot, so he's got probably one of those
right, super
fucking crazy Sub-Zero sleeping bags or something, probably.
I thought his job would give him a hotel.
I think they do. I think he prefers not to.
Well,
do
we
that.
can't talk about his job. He's just an enigma and a mystery. He's Mystery X. No profession. He's just wanders.
So they
He just wanders and
anyway, he had been there,
creates
but
political
you hadn't-
wars. So I had
hadn't-
never been, and someone came up with the bright idea. Let's go to Rob's bar. And now, granted, Rob's bar is 40 miles away,
It was
right?
like about 30.
30
About
miles.
30 miles
Okay.
away. Yeah.
So now it's midnight. Now it's officially New Year's Eve.
I can't believe I actually was tossing around the idea of doing this. I had to go to work the next day. This was after
you
the
made
last episode.
This was after the last episode, and we, you made the right decision,
Thank
and
God.
we didn't peer pressure you the way that we should have, but knowing that you had to work in mere hours after we stopped recording was the reason, and we are responsible adults at the end of the day. So anyway, we decided to call an Uber and head up to Rob's bar, and looking at the price options that night, we probably spent no less than $400 on Ubers back and forth the state of New Jersey.
It was stupid, yeah.
But that is no price to pay in comparison of a DUI.
Yeah.
So we made the responsible decision, and we hopped in a Prius.
Fucking guy was driving up the Parkway at
He had his
55
cruise control
strict,
on
like,
56.5 miles an hour.
Fucking asshole.
And that's why I thought, 30 miles on the Parkway took us 40 minutes.
So when he dropped you off, did you have to get a new Uber, dude?
to come home.
to get home. Yeah. So we show up, and I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, you and I don't talk about your bar that much,
It's
and then
not
maybe
that, it's not much to.
maybe every now and again when you want to
Yeah.
just incite a riot with posting some Dead cover band, Grateful Dead cover band.
Oh yeah,
But-
when you see that, yeah.
so anyway, we go, and I wasn't expecting such a sort of. I don't know. How would you describe that place? I mean,
It's hard.
it's not a sports bar.
No,
it's
just an old towny bar. It's been there forever, man. And it's just like.
But it's like a hybrid between like it had a VFW vibe with
Yeah,
wood paneling,
sure, yeah.
and then
like somebody's fucking basement from the 70s a little bit, and
Yes.
then with more modern televisions and the bar is low. It's not like a high bar. You sit down, you're kind of up on it. It's very, but it's been there forever, and it's the same people all the time. It's
Yep.
it's a
So and
Middletown-
obviously Rob is the mayor. He walks in, everyone knows him. The whole staff not high fives, but they were like, Rob, what are you?
There's two guys working and fucking 5 customers when we got there.
But everyone knew him, and so after the first pint of beer, and now, I kind of touched on my cousin Gussie in the solo episode that I did, in that, as long as I've known this kid, he always got into trouble, but he'd always reinvent himself by the season. So every 6 months he would change like his style, change his sort of look. So the thing that most immediately struck me was like each of the 5 people at the bar were just a different version of Gussie, right? And so they were on the fringe of like getting into trouble, but not really. But then also they just all had like a different style from each other.
Like a hip hop dude and a metal dude.
Yes. But it was like, one guy was, doing something seedy over here. Another guy was doing something seedy over here. And it was like, oh, so you're Rob's friends, huh? Yeah, man. How are you?
I
Like,
caught the tail end of a fucking Monday night when probably none of them had to work the next day. So
yeah, and they were all just wasted on various Non-alcoholic.
And immediately, friend X was doing just went over to the jukebox and started playing with it. But then he started, I guess, because these streaming jukeboxes have apps that you can control them. You can put you don't have to get up off the bar stool to select a song. So he started messing with that. And I wasn't sure if you had anything else to add before you went to the next part of the
Nope.
where he knows what my work schedule is, and I don't know if it was to do it for me, just to fool around and start putting on certain songs from wherever he was, be it New York or halfway across the country, wherever he may be at the time, just to I don't know if he was doing it to fuck with me and then somehow it turned into fucking with the patrons there. But the problem is these guys, they're used to a wide variety of crazy shit on there. Like you have to really get to a finite thing to piss off, and you have to do it at certain times to find the right crowd. Because if you do it later on at night, the one guy that I'm friends with in there is literally known for playing fucking anything. He'll wait for it to be busy and then play Baby Shark just to piss people off and stand there. Like, 'cause they know this dude. They're like, all right, they just roll their eyes and be like, all right, fuck it. What am I going to do? He's going to play Baby Shark. If I fuck with him, he'll play it 5 times. And so that's kind of how it started.
Cheers.
So he was doing that on a Wednesday night. I think Chris jumped on board with him on Wednesday night, and you guys.
So we're on a RGP WeChat back channel here, and so friend X decided to let everyone in on the gag, and that you can download this app, and then you have a complete network of jukeboxes across the country that you can select and choose and manage through your mobile device, no matter where you are in the world, and play songs as long as you pay for it.
Yeah. Which is like
a design flaw.
Yes.
It is, but
but
by nature, if you're not there to see the reaction, it's kind of useless to you. Like, it's kind of funny to do that. Like, I'm going to drive through.
Yes and no, because I still get the satisfaction. I don't care. I wish I could see it.
If you're driving through fucking rural Oklahoma and like, this is great, I'm going to put on NWA, this place will probably go nuts.
That's a great idea.
It's kind of like that. But did we ever play? I asked Helen this, and she said she doesn't remember. Did you ever hear Wheeler Walker Jr.? Did I talk about that on here? You did?
Yeah.
That song?
Yeah.
So that was number 1 on the jukebox there. So I'm never going to get fired for anything that you guys play.
Actually,
it was
it says Shakedown Street is
number 1. Yeah, because the guy I work with made it that. He keeps playing it constantly. Yeah. But for a long time, it was Wheeler Walker Jr. eating pussy and kicking ass. And that's the song. Like, the guy talks about, his boss is such a jerk. He went home and he ate his wife's pussy and then kicked his ass. Like, and he eventually ends up with a tranny.
Of course, I have it queued up here.
This was played constantly.
This is the kind of bar.
So this is exactly.
This is what I feel like you work in.
Yeah,
this is like top 3 plays.
But this is country. This guy's like he was number 1. They made him number 1. This is like anti-country.
Got off work. My boss man, he's such a jerk. So after work, I went to his house, ate his wife's pussy, and his ass, eating pussy.
So anytime somebody would see someone come in like that, look like they wouldn't like this song, somebody would put it on and play it. Like, so there's a couple there that doesn't belong, and then all of a sudden you're hearing a song about eating pussy and kicking ass.
God, you know what? Thank God I was dressed down that night, because I would have been a prime target. Could you imagine?
No, there's all kinds. I'm telling you,
Look
just
at
because
the
of where we
city,
are.
boy.
Do you have any hummus and cucumbers?
But it's not really like that, because we're so close to the city. Most of these people work in the city, blue collar and white collar, I guess you could say. Like, we get dudes from half of them take the boat in. It's close. It's a striking distance to New York, so it doesn't really have that city country feel to it. It's more like what I realized. What you got to do is you have to play this extremely feminine, gay, weak stuff. Like, that's what drives these dudes nuts. So you guys did it on Wednesday night, and the crowd is younger. They don't care. You had to play Tiny Tim for someone to be like, what the fuck was
Play
this?
that song real quick so the people can get an idea.
All right, what's the name of it? It was by Tiny Tim.
There's
Yeah.
another
Yes,
song,
yes.
I'm Gay, that was played.
Yeah,
Is it?
Tiny-
that was
yeah,
that was
another
the
one.
next time because Friend X
Tiny
started
Tim
with
Tulips.
with
Just
Mbop
put
by
Tiptoe through the tulips.
So yeah, but
you play
toe
so
through the
like
tulips?
generally the song that you just played now
Yeah.
is the consensus like what it sounds like in there most of the time.
on the wild end, like just because of the
Yeah.
lyrical content. This
All right, so this is what we played with the.
so this immediately.
Who the hell played this?
Exactly what
Rob!
Get this queer shit off the radio now!
Well, this was different. Like, did you guys see the video I sent you of the one guy's response? And it was more to Mbop before this came on.
Tiny Tim.
So this guy's like, this guy's not even regular.
This is so fucked up. This song.
This guy sounds like the guy from Reservoir Dogs, the head guy, like the old man. He's got a raspy voice like this, and I pulled up my phone and taped him. Like, you like this song? He's like, not in this fucking lifetime. And then he goes on. He goes, I would rather slam my dick in the door.
Oh my God.
Later on, somebody asked this dude later on, just because his fucking voice was killing me. He's like, and I don't really know this guy that often. He goes by the name Roach, and he's been in lately. And some guy's like, dude, you're 49. He's like, 49. You must have the brain the size of a dust mite's ball.
Oh my God.
Fucking dying laughing when he did that. But anyway, so there's a few people that hear that, and one of them was like, Rob, this is your friends, isn't it? Like the one dude that worked there, he picked up on it. But he's like, these guys they're younger. That's dark.
Don't they listen to this a little bit?
Some of it.
Some of them.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll pick up on this though. I don't know how often they listen.
You know,
better
we
hope
fuck
not.
with people.
No, it'd be great actually, because so these guys are younger. The Dart League, they're more. They'll laugh at it like, who the fuck put this on? Friday happy hour was different. That's when I was like, now you should do it, because then you get the blue collar dudes that come in, like the contractors and the construction dudes that are at the end of the bar. And then it started to fill up. Like I had the detective and his friends are there, but they'll play. Like he actually, one of you guys played Aaron Neville and Linda Ronstadt. And he was like, wow, I never heard this in this bar. I kind of like it. And they'll play shit like, I think I love you, so what am I so afraid? And they're all singing it down there. So you're hovering around a lot of weird shit. And the construction dudes down there know that these guys played this. Like the what am I so afraid of kind of shit. And they just kind of let it go. It's what it is. But you guys started on, I said, you got to make it really kind of weak and gayish. And you did. And it went to the point where I wasn't paying attention because it started to get really busy. And then one of the guys down the end that's there 6 days a week, he's like, can we turn this down? I'm like, he's like, no one's been at the jukebox for like a half an hour and all this stuff keeps coming on. And while he was talking to me, there was a song. Who was the artist? Do you know the song I'm Gay?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
right,
so
hold
it's the dude from Kids in the Hall. It's the gay guy that was on this, Scott Thompson or something.
I didn't hear this playing because I was running around. I wasn't paying attention. We were getting really busy. And this was on.
I'm gay! He's gay!
Just keep it going. It's only like a minute.
I'm gay!
He's gay!
It's like a Disney song.
I didn't even hear this going off. I was just not paying attention.
I'm gay!
Somebody's in the bar like, who's the fucking queer here?
He's gay! Did you hear the news? He's gay!
I used to be straight and now I'm gay. I think the drug made me that way.
He's gay! He's gay! He's gay!
I'm gay!
So there's like 5 or 6 of these guys that come in like 6 days a week, but Friday happy hour is kind of like accumulation of the week there. They all worked hard. They're at the end. The one dude waves me down and he's like, yo, can we lower this? Because I jacked it. We just got new speakers that day too. I had it jacked.
I love that you're in on this.
It jacked. And the one dude that was sitting next to him, he's kind of like the head contractor of his little crew. And he's like, He's like, what the fuck is this? No one's been at the jukebox for a minor league. That guy just said he's gay on that song. He just fucking said he's gay. The guy was getting mad. Like, we need to turn this off. And he's like, nobody's been at the jukebox in like a half an hour. I've been watching this, and all this song comes up. Then immediately after that, because I didn't hear him say I'm gay, but right in the middle of his conversation, Daisy Bell comes on, but by Blur. And it was like, I'm trying my best
This
not
shit
to.
makes me so happy, man.
I was like,
It's,
yeah,
like,
man, I don't know.
satisfying.
Maybe somebody has the app in here. I'm like looking around, like, I don't know who it could be. And then Daisy Bell starts
you-
up, and I
you
was like, I'm trying not to fucking laugh at
But
him.
you didn't, like, no one just, besides that one guy, like, did you crack and start laughing and stuff?
When I walked away, I did, but I'm like,
Because this must have been crazy.
This came on right after, because right after he said that, he's like, "They're fucking gay," and then this started. He's like, "What the fuck?" So this was driving them nuts. They were getting. It was only one side of the bar. The other side was too busy, too loud. They weren't even paying attention. But these guys, I'm telling you, if you want to do this, you got to do it early happy hour, like anywhere between 4 and 8 o'clock on Friday. You're gonna get, especially 4 o'clock, because no one will have touched the jukebox. There's just a bunch of guys sitting there, and then this pops on out of nowhere. That would drive them up the wall.
See, but this part, like, you know, the 3 Irish guys in the back, like, playing pool.
Yeah.
But they didn't hear.
Hey!
So it was a perfect.
This chorus stuff ain't so bad, is it?
It was a perfect break in the fucking band that we had that was playing there that night was like around the corner. So like the part by the jukebox and the pool table is kind of shielded from the noise of the band. So that's why these guys heard it and the rest of the bar didn't, because the band was doing a sound check like they were playing fucking Carnegie Hall. Kept going for like 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 2 hours. They kept just fucking playing and working their shit out.
On our end, we have like a group text that we've been doing for years, right? With all of us. And it was, I mean, I could not stop laughing on like our end of it.
Yeah.
Because thinking like, I don't know, you just kind of paint the visual of like what it looks like in there. And then eventually like it said like, the jukebox is offline. And it made me laugh even harder that somebody possibly went to the back of the jukebox like one of these fucking dudes and fucking yanked it out. Fucking thing like enough.
No, I think we ended up having to shut it off because the band
hard.
started to play. But that will happen on Friday. Like usually around 8 o'clock, the band will start and you'll shut it off, and then you turn it back on when they break. But these fucking assholes brought their own music, and so the last song, I think it was Peter Cetera, came on during the break. But they had their music playing, so it was completely conflict.
Go ahead, break it down, Shawn.
I am a man who will fight for your honor.
So
I'll be the hero. You'll be dreaming her.
So they would have heard that like perfectly, but the fucking band had their shit going. I had to get them to turn it down. Turn their stuff off. I lied to them and said, look, these guys are breaking my balls. They have their money in the jukebox. Can you shut your stuff off while you're on a break? And like, yeah, I'll do it right now.
Oh, that's
as soon as they shut it
hysterical.
off, Metallica came on and it was bullshit. It was over.
If there was a listener in that bar, they would,
Exit light.
if there was a listener in that bar, they would know with the Aaron Neville fucking thing, because we did all the you know.
Yeah, they should. It was probably long enough ago. I don't know if they put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
And that was the cop who he totally was like, I kind of like it. It's like Aaron
Bill
Neville.
crushed that.
So
Aaron Neville.
It's really funny though, because I was preoccupied. I was doing something else. I missed this whole thread when it was going on, but like when I picked up my phone and looked, like I knew
I had tears in my eyes.
I know.
I swear to God, I took the kids. My wife and I, like, we went to eat at like some taco place. And
Olive Garden.
Yes, and man, I could not stop laughing, and everyone, like my kids and everyone's like, "Why are you laughing so hard?" I couldn't stop laughing.
Dad's being silly, but I picked up my phone and I saw this, and I'm like, from you, and I knew shit was going down.
Yes, I tried looking for it.
It wasn't on there?
No, I wanted, because this is like the
Classic.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is They Might Be Giants. Like, to remind anyone that listened, this is what we used to listen to when we would go down the strip and like
Seaside.
Like Seaside with a bunch of fucking like Guidos and shit. Bar fucking dudes.
fucking windows wide open in January.
Ah, so stupid.
I know.
Grown adults.
Rob would have like this blue Astra van, and you would slide the door
open, yeah.
and we would drive by, and we would all be snapping like real slow to this thing with like all these fucking dudes like trying to hit on girls and
waiting
shit.
outside the Bamboo
Did
or
anyone
like
take
fucking,
their shirts off? Like,
yeah, there was one time. There was one time we all fucking drove down it was down the boulevard in January, and there was like people trying to get in the Bermuda Club out there. And I think we drove past real slow with all the windows down and the doors open, and we're all in our underwear listening to that shit.
In our underwear.
Or at least shirts off, I think it was. But it was freezing outside. But so yeah, that was the story of the jukebox and the...
Man, I live for this shit.
And you'll have people, it happens a lot. Like people put money in there and they come up and they're like, I haven't heard my songs, and they get mad and they want you to skip other people's shit. And you're like, I've done it where I've skipped somebody, and then some dude down the other end of the bar freaks out. I'm like, so no skip policy. I'm not skipping shit.
Yeah.
So when this stuff comes on, they know not to even. I'm like, no, I'm not skipping it. Like I don't know who played this, and it's "I'm Gay" by the Kids in the Hall or something. But it really pissed them off. Like for a minute, he's like you ruined their bar experience for that night. Like what the
So
fuck?
has there been any further fallout, or it just kind of came and went
with that? Yeah, that's 'cause it's really par for the course.
Funniest part,
like that was like you have to get finite about it and with who's there, because otherwise they've heard everything. Like if my friend that you met that night, if he hears that "I'm Gay" song, it's going to be #1 on there. He'll play it every fucking day.
the funniest part is that you have to we have to pay to do this.
I know you pay.
We were all just shoveling money into this
and
thing
without
to
like
fuck with
technically
people.
seeing the actual result of it.
Just the satisfaction of knowing.
We were that Wednesday night when you did play Tiny Tim. Like I didn't, because I'm working, so I don't really notice it coming on. I just noticed people going, "Who the fuck played this?" And,
that's the most absurd song I could think of.
and they
That is,
didn't
like,
get that
really
mad. They weren't. Those people didn't get that mad. They're just like, "What? I guess we got to fucking listen to this now."
I wish it was a longer song.
Except
It's
for that
only
guy
like 2
Roach,
minutes.
who's not a real like
Roach?
I've met him 3 times, but he's got that voice like.
That's amazing.
Like you know the guy from Reservoir Dogs, like the father. Like it. Why do I have to be Mr. Pink? Because you're a faggot. That's why that guy.
Yeah.
That dude is exactly what he sounded like, and I actually hurt my voice like because I was a little sick, and I kept doing his voice to him all night long.
All right, this guy, right?
Yep.
All right, hold on. Whoops.
Under no circumstances do I want any one of you to relate to each other by your Christian names. And I don't want any talk about yourself personally. That includes where you've been, your wife's name, where
What
you might have done
songs you
time
listen to?
for a bank maybe you robbed in St. Petersburg.
So what was the line? He
It's got to be at the
I want
end.
you guys to talk about it.
No, from the Roach guy at your bar.
I'd rather slam my dick in the door. And he's just like that, with that cadence, the way he's slow.
Mr. Brown, Mr. White, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Blue, Mr. Orange, Mr. Pink.
Why am I Mr. Pink?
Because you're a faggot, all right?
Why can't we pick our own colors?
No way, no way. Tried it once, it doesn't work. You get 4 guys all fighting over who's gonna be Mr. Black. But they don't know each other, so nobody wants to back down. No way. I pick. You're Mr. Pink. Be thankful you're not Mr. Yellow.
Yeah, you guys, have anyone seen the newer Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, the last one.
Oh, the Hollywood?
Have you?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
I haven't
it was
seen it yet. You
fantastic.
have?
I want to. It's just I gotta set aside 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
3
to
hours.
watch
I
it.
haven't watched The Irishman yet either.
Me either.
I haven't seen it.
But
Yeah.
I love fucking Quentin Tarantino.
He won a lot of shit at the Golden
Who?
Globes for that.
Quentin
Yeah,
Tarantino,
he did better than The Irishman. Irishman
this
didn't
his
win.
last
I thought The
one?
Irishman was okay.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, not like
See,
his other movies.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. I mean,
there's
the fact that it
so
was
many people in it though.
Yeah,
that's like
I thought it was
ridiculous.
good. The reason I think my opinion on it is because I was able to watch it at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I saw, I think we had this conversation, maybe not, but it's almost like there's a weird thing happening that if you liked the Joker, you didn't like Irishman. But if you
How
liked
are they even
Irishman,
the same
it's a weird just because of the release time. But there's like this weird phenomenon happening that it's almost like you can't like both. They're polar opposites. So for me, identifying that, the only reason I can kind of lean towards The Irishman versus The Joker, in my opinion, is that I was home and I was able to watch it. It's a 3.5 hour movie or 3 hours, whatever it is. But you could sort of pause it, go to the bathroom, you're comfortable. But even though it was like pure dialogue, you were still engaged and you were comfortable. I don't know what that is like at a movie theater. I would be going crazy, my ADD like peaking, where that was my issue with The Joker. It was heavy dialogue, and I just felt stuck in this theater.
You got to get high before you go to the theater.
Wait, you don't like a heavy dialogue movie? That's all I want. For real. Like,
I mean, if it's done well, and if it's not like, we've talked about my issue with The Joker is that it was an hour and 20 minutes of character build.
So like at this time of year, I usually
I want a 3-part movie, Chris. I don't want a 2-part movie.
Well, I usually steal, online, like tons and tons of movies to try to cram it in before the Academy Awards. I kind of have a feeling of it's just a fun thing. Yeah, my wife and I do.
I do too. I usually buy them from the.
We do too. Or go see the movies.
The Chinese guy comes into
as much as I can.
The Chinese bootleg guy that comes into the bar. I usually buy the Oscar-nominated
They're
ones.
They're just so easy online now.
It's even easier when the guy's got the thing right in front of you.
We're late this year watching all these kinds of things.
Well, they didn't come out yet, right, with the nominees?
No, a lot of them are.
No, but you can kind of...
The Golden Globes.
You can kind of...
precursor.
Yeah, like that 1917... won
that's crazy.
But they're also saying that they designed that for you to go see it in the theater.
The only thing my wife and I have seen is that Netflix Marriage Story.
I haven't seen that. No.
Yeah, I saw it. It was pretty good. Right?
It was good. I think. Yeah,
The Irishman's good, but it's just not like his other movies.
Yeah, that doesn't do it. I haven't seen. I've heard mixed on that one, and I've heard a lot.
The Hollywood movie though, the Quentin Tarantino is dope.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
I know. I listened to they were on Mark Maron's podcast. Leo and Brad Pitt were on there together, which is those are big gets for that.
Hell yeah!
Or that's your homoerotic fantasy right there.
Yes.
Should I start playing Daisy Bell again?
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, thank God you didn't wear sweatpants today.
Brad Pitt's a charismatic motherfucker.
What did you think of? I know it's been talked around, but did you watch Ricky Gervais's monologue there?
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what I was
getting. But you know what? But here's the thing. And again, this just speaks to where we are politically and this ridiculous choosing sides. After this monologue, Shawn, have you heard it?
No, I didn't.
All right, I'll cue it up. I mean, it's a good 4 minutes. Maybe we can play it as a bathroom break.
8 minutes.
It's 8 minutes. All right, even
the
better.
Beginning, because
all right. Yeah. So anyway, he's a comedian being a comedian, working in a room, making fun of the people in front of him, just hysterically pointing out obnoxious behavior of the elite Hollywood and all of that. Just being a comedian. So after the Golden Globes, outrage, and now he's being called a right-wing comedian, and so there's a sect of the internet and the left-wing community that are railing against him because they thought it was too politically charged at the left, and now he's a right-wing comedian that should be, banned off the Golden Globes. It was not a political statement. It was not a political monologue. It was a comedian making jokes on topical events.
But they knew it's going to be politically charged because of a lot of what was there. He knew what he was doing, which made it funnier.
And he knows that this was supposed to be his last time anyway.
Yeah,
he went all fucking. Yeah, he went all fucking.
So I saw that too, and he's like, "How could you think I was right wing when I'm shitting on Apple and all these other?"
Not only all this, I mean, there's so many. Things coming back that towards the end and stuff I'll have to try to remember, but there was there was a lot of little things here and there, All right,
I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna Shawn, if you want to listen, but you can narrate as you will. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but I'm just gonna fire this up and.
It's 8 minutes.
The 77th Annual Golden Globe Awards, live from the Beverly Hilton Hotel here in Los Angeles. I'm Ricky Gervais. Thank you.
I like that he puts a whole pint glass right out there.
hate him
You'll
too
be
from
pleased
years
to
before.
know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did. NBC clearly don't care either. 5th time.
The only thing about him-
Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some
Wish I
offensive
could pause
tweets.
this.
Hello. Lucky for me, the Hollywood Foreign Press can barely speak English, and they've no idea what Twitter is. So I got offered this gig by fax. So let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all going to die soon, and there's no sequel. So, yeah, remember that. But you all look lovely, all dolled up. You came here in your limos. I came here in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no, shush. It's her daughter.
I know,
feel
Tom
sorry
Hanks
for,
is like,
okay,
oh,
that must be the most
jeez.
embarrassing thing that's ever happened to her. And her dad was in Wild Hogs. So, lots of big celebrities here tonight. I mean, legends, icons. Yeah, look at this table alone. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. But Baby Yoda. Oh, that's Joe Pesci. Sorry. I love you, man. Don't have me whacked. But tonight isn't just about the people in front of the camera. In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care.
It's the awkward
Many
faces in the
talented people
audience.
of
Like
colour
that.
were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood Foreign Press are all very, very racist. So, 5th time. So,
Why is Tom
we
Hanks
were going to
look
do an
so
in memoriam
shocked
this
at this?
year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. It just, no. It was mostly white people, and I thought, nah, not on my watch. So, maybe next year. Let's see what happens. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to the cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this. Okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein.
This was the big one.
I know he's
This
your
is what
friend,
turned it
but I
into a
don't care.
political. Sorry.
Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? Right. But seriously, most films
You
are
have to take your
awful,
own plane.
lazy, remakes, sequels. I've heard a rumour that there might be a sequel to Sophie's Choice. I mean, that'd just be Meryl Streep going, well, it's got to be this one then. All the best actors have jumped.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, look how close he is to the. I mean, this is like a pure comedy set.
Yeah,
you know, from The Room, because this is just a small ballroom in a hotel.
Yeah. He's doing crowd work on celebrities.
I know. And, like Tom Hanks is 15 feet from his face.
I know.
Look at Leonardo is like right there.
And seeing like Robert De Niro like 20 feet from you. And
They look like they didn't get anything.
And the actors who just do Hollywood movies now do fantasy adventure nonsense. They wear masks and capes and really tight costumes. Their job isn't acting anymore. It's going to the gym twice a day and taking steroids, really. Have we got an award for most ripped junkie? No. No point. We know he'd win that. Martin Scorsese, the greatest living director, made the news for his controversial comments about the Marvel franchise. He said they're not real cinema and they remind him of theme parks. I agree, although I don't know what he's doing hanging around theme parks. He's not big enough to go on the rides, is he? Tiny.
See, he took the joke.
Yeah, he did.
The Irishman was amazing. It was amazing. It was. It was great. Long, but amazing. It wasn't the only epic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So...
Good sport about it. He's laughing. He's laughing.
Even Prince Andrew's like, come on, Leo, mate. You know, you're nearly 50, son. The world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but...
And that's a good... But that deserved a lot more laughs in my... Do you know who James Corden is?
That. And the reviews, oh, shocking. I saw one that said, this is the worst thing to happen to cats since dogs, right? But Dame Judi Dench defended the film, saying it was the role she was born to play, because she... I can't do this next joke. Because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her leg, and licking her...
Oh. He said pussy.
Furball. She's old school. It's the last time, who cares? Oh. Apple roared into the TV.
So this is where it really ramps up. This was the soundbite, like starting from here until probably the next 2 minutes or so, where it pissed a lot of people off.
Game with a morning show, a superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and...
Fuck off.
So that was really it. I mean, that
got the most applause, too.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks. I do not approve.
So Shawn, as someone that just heard this for the first time, now being told that this created political outrage, and now he's being called a right-wing comedian.
Well, people just don't like that they use Amazon and they use Apple and they feel bad about it, and he made him feel bad about it. That's all it is.
But I mean, the fact that we're here, that what's lost on comedy is really the climate that we're in, right? Mm. You know, like comedians can no longer just make jokes without.
I mean, to be honest, though, I mean, he makes it seem like he was like, you know, thrown in the van and forced to do this at gunpoint and shit. That's part of the comedy of this fucking thing. But he chose to do this thing.
Sure.
I think it's you know, after Chappelle's
Dude,
latest
we
one,
just watched. Mary and I just watched that last night again.
Fucking like an album
awesome.
coming out that changes.
Yeah.
It's so
he like that. I'm talking about like Sticks and Stones.
Yeah,
it's he's like that thing there. Like I think it's gonna change that if it hasn't changed Dave Chappelle. I mean, obviously he's probably the biggest comedian in the world.
I think there's no doubt, and I think, you know, with looking at it, Ari Shaffir, who's always on Rogan, I keep hearing him say that. He's like, no, comedy's dangerous again. This is great.
Yeah,
like he loves it.
Dave Chappelle must be like grandfathered in or something.
Yeah,
like he's allowed to like some of the stuff that he said on there,
yeah,
like would almost like get their shit canceled.
But it's crazy. It's in the comedy context still,
thing.
and it's still like a hard thing to tackle because you go to it. Like you search this out. He didn't come to you.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like it's kind of taboo, but the guy's as free can be. What are they
Yeah.
gonna fucking do to him? I'll go outside of Netflix to find if he has to go rogue, and I'll watch his shit anywhere that you put it. I'm not offended by it. I think it's the greatest thing in the world.
Dude's a monster, man. He's the best.
Incredible.
Yeah, like if you know how like Carlin had a lot to say with like, like it feels like this special that he did here, like Chappelle. It seems like he turned a page and got on that level.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I thought. Yeah, that he
never was like this with Dave Chappelle.
No, that he's gotten all of a sudden he's in the light of like Mount Rushmore, where he's still young enough that he does more like that.
Yeah. Do you see this?
He'll
Jim?
walk away as being considered the greatest of all time.
I thought it was great. Heidi was howling during the whole
it's
episode.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's like like he stands in the middle somehow with us. I would imagine.
But I mean, this pissed a lot of people. All the millennials are angry at him.
Of course,
because
that's ridiculous.
I love the guys at the bar.
The biggest bit was the taxi bit.
Yeah, no, the alphabet people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can. All right, here's a list of the controversial.
I'm not for abortion. Oh, shut up, nigga. I'm not for it, but I'm not against it either. It all depends on who I get pregnant. So in that spirit, tonight, I thought I'd start my show a little differently. Tonight, I'm going to do something that I'm not particularly good at, but that I like to do. Tonight, I'm going to try some impressions out.
This is where it turns nip in the special.
I only got two.
Oh, this is the very beginning.
The first impression's kind of dumb, but I like it. This is my impression. You ready? This is my impression of the founding fathers of America when the Constitution was being written. You ready? Here it goes. Hurry up and finish that Constitution, nigger. I'm trying to get some sleep. It's not bad, right?
That's kind of
Not the best joke.
No, that's a throwaway one.
Yeah.
It's leading
Next
into this one.
I'm just afraid of
They
being
screwed that one up.
Sorry, guys.
Damn.
Don't ever
What kind of
forget what happened
podcast is
to
this?
that French
I don't
actor.
know.
Did you see that?
You know what I'm talking about? Juicy Smouillet. He's a very famous French actor. Y'all never heard of Juicy Smouillet? Juicy Smouillet is an actor from France. And he became famous on a show called Empire.
I know, everyone's cringing. Like, I'm kind of lost on this one.
You don't,
I don't even think this was a big.
No, do you remember this?
Jesse Smollett,
it's not-
the actor,
yeah,
is it the
Jesse's-
actor who said he was harassed,
Yeah,
but he made it all
I
up.
want to see if you can guess who it is I'm doing an impression of. All right,
this
let me
is
get
it.
into character. You got to
This
guess
is
who it is.
this
though.
is what was cut off before.
Okay, here it goes. Hey, if you do anything wrong in your life, and I find out about it, I'm going to try to take everything away from you. And I don't care when I find out. Could be today, tomorrow, 15, 20 years from now. If I find out, you're fucking finished. Who's that? That's you. That's what the audience sounds like to me.
There it is. That's what the topic
so
of what
at
we've
that
been.
point of the special, that's
Yeah.
at that joke. That's when it like kicked on to like the whole cancel
culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which I think even the arguments we've had about it with even friend X, he's right. It's not. It's almost like not a real thing. Just stand through it. Fuck it. Just keep punching. Just say what you're going to say. Fuck them. They're not real.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there trying, and they're just people on Twitter and shit like that, just saying things. What actually happens? Unless you work for a company that...
Well, I mean, I think to your point last week, Chris, when you were talking about keeping it real, no matter what level of realness that is, whether it's, Donald Trump level, my dad level of realness, the authenticity factor is something that I think as we get through this cancer culture period is going to now turn where it goes extreme transparency and authenticity and like.
So if you stay that way through the whole thing,
exactly.
You got cred.
Yeah, absolutely. But then,
all right, we're online. We're going.
No, totally. We're heading down that path, and then
I'm going to go home and get high tonight.
And then in 7 years from now, or maybe in another 2 political or presidential cycles, 8 years, 10 years from now, the conservatives are going to go just blow their minds out, and like it's going to swing back to like things being ratcheted up and trying to force feed the 1950s again.
Sounds awesome.
Puritanical.
It's the future is looking
bright. I wish
bright.
I could find that thing. Remember, I showed you that one thing that Crystalia said. It was like it was a clip from his podcast of like
everyone's offended, or
just like it's about all this cancel culture shit, and it was like about him. You probably won't be able to find that, but it was like about saying like back in the day with the kings and queens and shit, there was jesters,
right?
And it was like they were acting like a fool, and if it wasn't for like people like Pryor and Carlin and stuff like that to like bring it, we'd still be thinking like shit like that was funny. You have to actually fucking push forward with this.
This guy was on a TV show, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. So he's on a Netflix show right now, but he was on a TV show called Whitney Cummings.
I don't know. It was the worst fucking thing ever.
Yeah, it was horrible. That, or it's like Undateable or something. Like it was like an ABC.
I never saw him in anything.
Fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
But now he's on a show called You on Netflix. Have you guys watched this?
No.
It's pretty good. I mean, a little bit of a guilty pleasure here. I'm not a big binge watcher. I'm not a big TV person, but I don't know how. I guess season 2 is out, and of course, I'm always a year or 2 behind when it comes to TV shows. But this show on Netflix, it's called You, and it's essentially about a guy. He's a sociopath. It's got a little bit of Dexter in it. More of a modern stage. It's about this kid that he runs a bookstore, and he just becomes obsessed with these women, and then he stalks them, and then he's like a he's like one of those bad guys that you root for because he's trying, like he's just full of angst, and he's but he ends up always in these predicaments where he ends up killing these his obsessions, right, and these girls, and so it just kind of goes through.
He's the star?
No, so Crystalia he's in the 2nd season, but he plays a comedian who is also, I don't want to say a pedophile, but kind of a creep with younger age girls and does inappropriate things, in terms of pictures and whatnot. And it's not a bad show. It's not a bad show at all. It's really well done. It's well written.
It was a Lifetime show.
What?
The original You.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a Lifetime show. I never saw it, but
I never heard of it.
It was a Lifetime show, and then I guess like Netflix.
I thought it was a book adaptation, a book called All the
maybe it was
the Hidden Bodies or
that
the Buried where the bodies were buried or something. Shawn, familiar with that book?
No.
Speaking of Netflix and comedians, we've all seemed to have gotten on Ronnie Chang for some reason or another. It was surprisingly.
I'll take credit for that one.
It was impressive.
It was very good.
It was impressive as hell.
Ronnie Chang, he said a lot of things that I thought for sure would. I can't believe that there's not more controversy. So here's the hypocrisy with this, because I feel like because he's an Asian comedian, he's gotten away with a lot of things that I don't think many other comedians could say without any backlash.
Sure.
Because it was very antagonistic against American culture, and rightfully.
Yeah, it was spot on. It was funny as shit.
So you want to talk? There's very little outrage from the right, or
I don't think he can, because he nailed so much spot on, and I don't think it was very aimed at one political party. It was more like American culture in general, and not even just American. I mean, specifically American because he came here, but it was.
But honestly though, like if this were a black comedian saying the shit that he said, Fox News would have him have them blacklisted.
Yeah.
If this was a white person,
it would be the other end. Yeah.
Same thing. Fox News would, but I think that there is an insulation around, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. Like
totally.
Asians are, like there's a hands-off sort of.
That was great. He's like, we just want shit to work. We gotta have a fucking Asian politician.
Here's Ronnie Chang, baffled by his state mottos.
The state motto of New Hampshire is live free or die. That's a very intense state motto. All right, if you're from New Hampshire and you're living there, at some point you have to start questioning. Like, hey, how far do we take this? All right, because I'm feeling a little imprisoned by this post office line right now, and I don't know, man, maybe we should look at our state motto here. Or like the state motto of Pennsylvania or Massachusetts. It's like another East Coast state. It's like something in Latin. It's like liberty, but only by the sword, or I'll chop your head off, right? It's like Game of Thrones book titles. It's a dead language, I'm paraphrasing, right? And then you move west, and people calm the fuck down a bit. Like you move southwest to Tennessee, and the state motto of Tennessee is agriculture and commerce. Compared to live free or die, agriculture and commerce isn't even a call to action. Like, it's not even, let's do agriculture and commerce. There's no verb in that motto. Do you understand? That means there's no action word. So the sentence has no direction. It's just concepts. It's like everyone got to Tennessee and they're like, oh my God, the sun here is awesome. Yeah, agriculture and commerce. Yeah, figure it out. But not today. Then you move further west, southwest to Texas, right? And the state motto of Texas is, does anybody here know what the state motto of Texas is by any chance? I won't make fun of you if you get it wrong. Lone Star State, good guess, that's wrong. Anyone else? Don't tread on me, great guess, that's wrong.
Don't mess with Texas.
Remember the Alamo, bad guess, that's wrong. Really, you're gonna let this fucking foreigner teach you about your country? All right. Your president's not gonna like that. But that's the energy, right? What? Grab your guns. Don't fuck with.
Rob, take the call online. Go do it. Do it now. It's a telemarketer. So, Chris, you walk back into the room, but we were just watching some Ronnie Chang clips.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'd give it a shot. He's not bad. I've already made my political statement about him.
I heard good things about him. Yeah, I sent you a thing.
You sent me a thing.
Yeah, that's that Chris D'Elia thing. Might as well, if I made reference to it, play that.
All right.
I feel this way.
Chris D'Elia on cancel culture. Mm-hmm. All right.
Isn't a joke out there that doesn't offend someone because it's making fun. And then the second, if I make fun of refrigerators, someone somewhere who just bought a refrigerator is going to be like, well, that's fucking actually not cool because yada, yada. Okay.
Did you record this on like fast speed? Doesn't it sound really fast?
Does it? I don't know.
No, a little bit maybe.
He offends someone. All of it.
Yeah,
so
it does sound fast.
What do we get offended for?
I have no idea.
Either comedy exists or it doesn't. So if you're saying, I'm offended, don't say that, no, not cool, cross the line, then what you're saying is don't do comedy, basically, because it all offends someone. So you're saying, yeah, but because it offends me, I'm more important than the other people who it doesn't offend, so don't do it. That's what you're saying. It doesn't matter if you're arguing about, if you're making a joke about refrigerators or HIV or a fucking handicapped person. Comedy has to push the envelope. Otherwise, you don't know where the fuck it is. Where's that line? And then it doesn't grow. You ever see shit in like comedy that took place in like 1920? You ever see that shit? You look at it and you're like, this shit was what people were laughing at? I mean, kings and queens and shit in Europe, they used to laugh at a jester just like, And you see that now, you're like, what the fuck? That shit's horrible. Because comedy involves, and that's because it pushed the envelope. And it made people sometimes cringe, sometimes not laugh, sometimes get upset. But that's why shit is so funny now, dude. Because of those motherfuckers. If it wasn't for Lenny Bruce, another guy maybe would have done it. But so you got to have those guys. They jailed that motherfucker. You can't go backwards. And you're not going to. By the way, it's not going to happen. So,
Alvin, Simon, Theodore.
That was kind of fast.
I don't
It was
know.
good,
I don't
though.
know why I was like that.
Yeah.
But that's what I feel like. I don't get the.
I'm so offended. And
It's just
everyone else should be offended because I'm offended thing.
Just the lack of suspension of disbelief and understanding the context of what you're listening to. Like, that's what escapes me. How are you that clueless to not just put yourself in a false environment, listening to a structured, written out satire that you can't just escape your angry reality and literalness of just like the words being spoken into the mic that just outrage you. Like, I just don't get that part. I don't get it.
If no one's able to tell a joke about anybody anymore, what's going to happen going forward? Like, you can't.
I'm going to be bored.
No more flat ass jokes for Chris.
Yeah, I mean, see, everyone can make jokes about that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's weird.
Anyway, what else? What else, boys? What else? I feel like we covered a lot, like a good recap of the week.
Yeah.
Shawn?
Yes, sir.
I thought there was something else, but I don't remember.
What do you want to? You want to talk about Epstein? Have you seen any of these photos that have come to light? The last 60 Minutes last week?
No.
I saw part of that 60 Minutes, but I didn't see the photographs you're talking about.
That motherfucker. Sorry, Mom. That MFer did not kill himself. It's just straight up. All right, let me try to.
You don't think he did it?
There's some dark shit out there, then, man.
This is when Rob's garage gets real.
Some creep out there who was pretty powerful to kill this guy.
I don't know. I mean, so they hired. Do you guys remember back in like the 90s, HBO had a late night show. It was like the Forensic Files or something. Autopsy. So you know that doctor that so the family of Epstein hired him to investigate this.
Oh yeah.
So now he's on. Oh yeah, here it is. Dr. Baden. So sorry, it's a Fox News clip. I do apologize
That dude
for
looks
this.
mad old now.
But yeah, but basically he's been investigating the murder, and so
images we want to warn you in a moment here that you're about to see may not be suitable for any time of.
The first thing here is, and I'm sorry that we can't share this with the listeners here, but it's the picture that they're showing is Epstein's jail cell with about 32 orange blankets. Now, he's in a cell by himself. Who has access to a 32 orange prison? There has to be a quota as to how many blankets you're allowed to have. Now, these are blankets or jumpsuits or what have you, but like that's suspicion number one, right? Like there's 2 beds.
It's excessive for
How many blankets do you need? So there's no.
I would need a lot.
Why?
Because I get chilly.
You get chilly, but look at that, 32. I mean, this looks like a
They're
laundry
not even
room.
blankets, they're sheets. I would ask for a lot of sheets. I would say like.
This looks like a laundry room.
How many sheets make up a blanket? Maybe 10. I would ask for 10 sheets.
Wait, you're not making a quilt? What kind of what?
I would layer them.
We just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Several of the photos, like this one, taken at Epstein's.
Okay, so now
I never saw this shit.
is they.
Wow.
Oh my gosh! So this is daytime television.
Yeah.
This is a Fox News interview
What's
with
in
Dr.
his mouth?
What?
I don't know. Just like all like purple, like it looks like some kind of like.
So now we're looking at a dead Jeffrey Epstein's neck, which has clearly a strangle mark. Well, an asphyxiation mark on his neck, allegedly of what a hanging or what a neck should look like after you hang yourself, right?
This was on regular news.
Yeah, this is Fox News on January 6th. So just last week, and so Dr. Baden looks at these photos, evaluates the autopsy, and has some high concerns.
His autopsy. showing the bloodied wounds around his neck. With us now, the man hired by the Epstein family to investigate his death, Dr. Michael Baden, forensic pathologist, Fox's contributor, and good morning to you.
Good morning.
The image that we just showed there was from 60 Minutes last night. It's the first time we've had a chance to see it. And again, we're warning our viewers if just heads up on this. Now,
Heads
what
up.
new
Too late.
information, knowing that you're working on behalf of the brother of Jeffrey Epstein, do you provide to the story today?
Well, I think that there's a lot of information that still hasn't been revealed yet that is essential in order to arrive at a conclusion whether this is a suicide or a homicide.
That dude has wood
and I think
teeth.
The closing out of the case as a suicide so quickly was premature. The photograph you just showed of the ligature mark around the neck, the bloody ligature mark around the neck, doesn't match the ligature that was found at the scene and that the medical examiner copied to show how he was hanged. It was too wide and too smooth. This is a rougher injury. The petechial hemorrhages in the eyes, the crush injuries in the neck, the 3 fractures in the neck are not seen in hanging suicides. That at most 10% of the time you might get 1 fracture. But this was a very hard compression of the neck. And I think the important thing is to find out what was seen when the guards first went into the cell. Was he hanging? Was he on the ground, as some people reported, when he was found?
What's the answer?
We don't know that.
How do you not know? Like the fucking guys that you know who was working. What did he look like when you walked in?
But here's the other thing, like, where was he hanging from? This is a jail cell. Like, he wasn't able to hang from the rafter up top.
I heard he was on his knees.
He was on his knees.
Oh, so he did the Robin Williams thing, and lean
that's
forward,
what I
and
heard.
you
he
can
did
do
it
that?
on a doorknob. That's how Robin
I
Williams
don't know.
killed
That's
himself.
what I heard. He was on his knees, and then someone like cut him down or something, and was like yelling like,
On his knees
"Breathe,
from
breathe,"
Oh.
or something. Like
So
one of
here's the
guards.
noose.
That's how Robin Williams.
Yeah,
I know that.
I think he did it on a doorknob. I think he just leaned
Wish I
forward.
could do a
and choked
Robin
himself.
Williams impression right now. I would.
Okay,
Not that.
okay. No.
No.
That's messed up.
Sorry, I went too far.
There's a lot of Robin Williams fans out there. You're in trouble now.
I mean, so now we're looking at the noose, which is an orange piece of this blanket that's just it just looks like a knot that your head fit around.
Can that guy? I mean, that doesn't look right.
We've had
with the wounds.
I've been looking for at all of the suicidal hangings in New York State, prisons, jails, lockups.
What are we looking at here, Dr. Baden, while this is on the screen?
That's the ligature that was found at the scene, and the noose, which presumably is what he was found hanging with, and yet there's no transfer of any blood on that ligature from the neck. There's no, it doesn't match the ligature mark on the neck.
That's what I just said.
It's too wide, it's too smooth.
So who do you think did it, Chris?
I don't
You think
Trumps and shit.
Trump.
You think Trump did it?
Yeah,
Trump,
man.
Clinton, Obama, they all got together like, yo, we got to clean this shit up.
And this is not
because everyone. So again, this is now a political argument. The right think Clinton did it.
Yeah.
And then the left
thinks Trump did
But that's for the rest of us idiots out here. Like, I don't think either of them specifically did it.
Probably
There's
the mafia,
there's
the mafia.
some fucking Rothschild or some other motherfucker out there that's like really, really, really rich. Not Trump's like
Prince Andrew.
Yeah, some shit that
England
that they can't have this
out
shit
there.
come out.
They're skating in all of this.
Yeah, there's Clinton, Trump. It's just too fucking easy, and it's too easy to kick around out here with a bunch of fucking idiots who always blame the other side without ever fucking, thinking that their side could be in part of it.
He tied a good knot though.
He may have been a Boy Scout.
And this doesn't look like they're just the fact that people are kicking it around in that arena makes it look like a conspiracy theory when this is really probably the easiest one to debunk being a conspiracy. The fucking camera went down when there's no footage of it.
I mean,
the guards happen to be around this.
Everything.
Everything. But what are you going to do? But we're just going to keep picking at it for years and years, and nothing will ever come out.
But the
Somebody
fact of
with
the
that
matter
much power
is,
just runs away with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all amplified because he was on suicide watch,
Yeah.
right? And there was a pad in the paper. Like, you don't have a pen on suicide watch, right? Like, that's a shiv.
You're right.
You know, like, there's so many
It's
inconsistencies.
stupid shit. Yeah, like, and the guy was he owned a pedophile island, and he would fly
pedo island.
Yeah, I mean, how many
It's
people?
Lolita, wasn't it? What was it called? What's the real name of it? It was like
No, that's a different chick. Long Island Lolita.
No. There was a name for the
Joey
island.
Buttafuoco did not kill himself.
No, there's a name for this thing.
Oh, his island.
Yeah,
Shit, I can't remember.
Long Island Lolita, like Jeffrey Epstein and Joey Buttafuoco.
Join forces.
To rape underage women all over the
What do
country.
you think Joey Buttafuoco?
But mostly in Long Island.
I don't know. I wonder where Joey Buttafuoco is.
Eating wings.
Nassau
Joey
County.
Buttafuoco.
Remember Mary Jo? She started talking out of the side of her mouth like she had Bell's palsy. And
Oh, yeah.
She was shot, the poor thing.
the fucking guy was wearing, he had a mullet and Zubas. Joey Buttafuoco.
Hey, the other day I was looking at records in the record exchange, and they had a soundtrack for Enemy Mine on,
Did they really?
on vinyl.
They had a fucking. I didn't know they had a soundtrack to that.
Me neither.
That's Joey Buttafuoco
Enemy
now?
Mine.
Yeah, look at him. He's
pimping. Look at him with the long hair in the other pictures.
He's aged well.
Yeah,
he looks like a self-standing,
How old was he
self-respecting.
then? Because he's only 63 now. How long ago was that? Wasn't that like 20 years ago? Or
He was
something?
probably 40s or late 30s.
Late
That's
30s.
how old he was. That Steven Seagal look is fucking 30.
Steven Seagal.
Now look up Mary Jo. She probably looks terrible to let you know karma is not a real thing. She's probably fucking looks awful.
No, I'm sure. We'll get through these commercials. This is ABC.
They reunited on
Anyway.
TV. Oh my.
Joey Buttafuoco reunites with Amy Fisher on TV, Part 9.
Part 9. Yeah, she became a porn star, I think.
Did she?
Yeah.
For real? I saw a documentary not too long ago on the dude whose wife cut his dick off. Remember?
Yeah, what was
Babbitt?
it? Oh,
Yeah,
Bobbitt.
Bobbitt. Yeah.
Babbitt,
And
Bobbitt.
when he got his shit sewed on, he did a porno.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Take it down to
Everybody's looking to see if they could see the seam. It's
Yeah.
popping in and out.
to the cut, to the cut, to the cut.
That's all I wanted. All I wanted was to be normal. But
Is that her?
it was a rough time. They were good kids. You know, they had problems.
there
She
she
don't look
is.
too bad.
All of this.
I was thinking straight as I could, given the moment and given everything that was going on. But for my children, it wasn't easy for them.
Yeah.
They were at that age.
He looked like Mark Gastineau.
Fucking Zubas.
Oh, that's all he
And
wore
so
back then.
Oh
I
shit! He
big
got the
into
hand tat
cocaine
and he's
because
doing
it made me feel like the queen.
blowing through
And
lines.
I experienced eating disorders from it. I
That-
suffer from alcoholism.
Is that the
A lot of
daughter,
it was
Jessie
suppressed. It
Buttafuoco?
was all this hiding and everything's fine and I'm terrific, and deep down things weren't terrific, and it all stemmed from her mom getting shot and seeing how people portrayed her mom and dad.
My friends at Entertainment Tonight Insider.
I want to see what the
brought me
woman looks
aboard,
like now.
And sometimes
Fisher.
I do these
All right, why don't we do an Amy Fisher? Where is she
Maybe.
now?
How the fuck did we get here?
I don't know.
There she is. They just showed her.
Oh, Lolita.
yeah,
That's
yeah, she looks like a porn star now. You know, she's still drinking Long Island iced tea somewhere.
Oh yeah, she definitely.
What you fucking staring at? You prick.
Yeah.
You're not at a zoo.
Yeah.
You go back to Brooklyn, you pecker.
She definitely goes to Rob's bar.
Yeah,
Rob's bar.
she should be there.
Look at the top right piece.
Wow.
Oh my god.
So she's
Oh,
with
man.
she's got collagen lips now, a couple of CCs added to her breast, and now she's dating some True Religion sleeveless tank top
Fitted
tattoo,
tank top.
fitted tank top.
It's Wayne from Coin Castle.
It's not even a tank piece. It's just a shirtless piece, the sleeveless piece.
Anyway, I think we should end on a high note here. We're at our time today, fellas. Shawn, it's been a long time since you're.
No, not me today.
You're not feeling it. You don't want to pick the song.
It's these guys do it.
All right. I think Chris, you
I just did it.
You did last week. All right, Raj.
What about you? Got anything?
EMF or something.
EMF. Yeah, let's end on the era of Joey Buttafuoco.
No, I mean, if it were up to me, I would definitely do my rabbit hole play. That,
did you? Who did it last week?
Chris.
Oh,
Chris played Biggie Smalls, but I've been listening nonstop to the entire catalog of the Caribbean band that played the Christmas song, that indie Christmas song. So,
Hook it up.
and I don't know.
Might as well do it now.
I'm not saying this properly, but it's Kurungbin, which I think is a Taiwanese word for airplane, but it's a band. It's an indie band out of Houston. And here's my big bold prediction for 2019. I think they're coming out with a new album.
2019,
or
bro?
excuse me, 2020. Wow. They're gonna win like some music awards.
You think
there
so?
It is. The last one I called was War on Drugs, Album of the Year. They are going to get Band of the Year, Album of the Year, or some notoriety.
From who? Like the Grammys or
who?
Magazines or something?
Yeah. So
all right, let's check.
All right.
So follow their progress.
So this is an EP. This is a song. It's a bit of a collaboration with Leon. With who? It's called Texas Sun. Leon Bridges.
Yeah.
But the band is called Kurungbin. So we're
gonna start doing 10-minute episodes, right?
10 minutes. Yeah. Just little sound bites.
They come out.
That's what everybody wants now.
Well, we listen. Here's the compromise. If we don't live stream has to long form.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't live stream the next couple of shows, then we'll cut these to like hour shows, and then we'll just piece them up.
I don't know if anyone wants these Joe Rogan ones.
What's that mean?
Long ass fucking marathons.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
Really insightful.
All right, we'll play around with it then.
All right, Texas Sun. Peace, everyone.
Say you like the wind blowing through your hair. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun. Say you wanna hit the highway while the engine roars. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun, oh yeah. Texas sun, caressing you from Fort Worth to Amarillo. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun dips low. Texas sun. Texas sun, oh girl. Texas sun. When I'm far from home and the cold winds blow, stuck out somewhere, the folks I don't know. 'Cause you keep me nice and you keep me warm. Wanna feel you on me, can't wait to get back. Texas sun. sun. Texas sun. You say you like the wind blowing through your hair. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun. Texas sun. Oh, baby, you're so gorgeous. How about you and me? Take a little trip. In the big body. Take a ride with me, babe. You by my side. How does it sound? You and I. Oh, girl. Take a ride with me, babe. You by my side. How does it sound? You and I. Baby.